To maintain the decorum of the ceremony, we request you all to switch off your mobile phones and refrain from moving around in the hall for photography. Thank you for your cooperation. It is said that when we honor the past and embrace the future, then the present becomes a celebration. We celebrate today the past glorious 50 years of theologizing in context and gear ourselves for the challenges that beckon us. This Golden Jubilee has been an occasion to recall the marvelous ways in which Vidyajyoti has fulfilled its mission in forming men and women dedicated to the service of others, who let the inner divine light shine out through them by reflecting the one who alone shines. It has been a time of being proud of our achievements and take stock of our contribution to the society. May this evening, infused with gratitude and joy, be a source of inspiration to recall our memories with our alma mater and our association with Vidyajyoti in numerous ways. Pope Francis, in his apostolic letter in the year 2014, on the occasion of the year of consecrated life, exhorts all men and women consecrated to God to look at the past with gratitude, live the present with passion, and embrace the future with hope, because God is in control. As our hearts sing the psalms of praises to God, who has led us through these 50 years, may I now invite the Kalaradai dance troupe, Kolkata, to invoke the divine blessings on us through a dance. Thank you, Kalaruday, for helping us feel the divine presence. I now invite all our esteemed dignitaries to the dais. Our chief guest of today's function, Srimati Medha Patkar, the guests of honor, His Grace Archbishop Anil Jeti Kuto, His Lordship Bishop Deepak Valerian Tauro, Archbishop Emeritus Vincent Conceso, Monsignor Juan Pablo Hernandez, Father Stanislas de Souza, Father Susai Mani, our former rectors, Father John Manipadam, Father Abraham Puttumana, Father Michael Amaladas, Father Joseph Matthias, Father Vincent Amalanathan, Father Joseph Sebastian, our former principals, Father T.K. John, Father John Mukulin, Father John Chattanat, and Father Francis Gonzalez. Thank you, dear dignitaries. Vidyajyoti does not merely teach theology, and the students do not merely study theology, but we do theology through real life experiences. This has been possible through the unwavering support of our collaborators, well-wishers, and in particular you all who still continue to support us. It is indeed an honor to have you all. To welcome this august gathering, may I now invite Father P.R. John, the principal of Vidyajyoti College of Theology.
Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. May all people be happy. Respected Srimati Medha Patkarji, social activist and the founder member of Narmada Bachao Andolan, the chief guest of Vidyajyoti Golden Jubilee celebration, Your Grace Anil Jeti Kuto, Metropolitan Archbishop of Delhi, and the patron of Vidyajyoti, Your Lordship Bishop Deepak Tauro, Your Grace Vincent Conceso, Archbishop Emeritus, Monsignor Juan Paulo Cerilos, First Secretary, Vatican Nunciature, Delhi, Father Stanislas de Souza, President of Jesuit Conference of South Asia, and the Vice Chancellor of Vidyajyoti, Father Susai Mani, Provincial of Delhi Jesuits, former rectors, principals, former staff and students of Vidyajyoti, Father Nirmal Raj, the rector of Vidyajyoti, Father Hector Pinto, the registrar, esteemed staff colleagues, my dear students, major superiors belonging to various religious orders, and the clergy of the Archdiocese of Delhi, government officials from the diplomatic channels, church leaders and benefactors, academicians, social thinkers and activists, interfaith leaders, and long-standing fieldwork partners and representatives from our ministry places, slums, Jogi Jupadi colonies, hospitals, parishes, domestic working women, rickshaw pullers, refugees and migrants, children on the street, and people in the public spaces a warm welcome this evening that marks the conclusion of the 50th anniversary of the Golden Jubilee of the shifting of St. Mary's Kurseong and rechristening it as Vidyajyoti in Delhi. There are times when you just need to sing and dance. Music and dance are integral part of any cultural group. On Indian soil, down the centuries, people have creatively produced and treasured classical music and dance, folk languages, rites and rituals, songs and rhythms, poems and myths. In our motherland, India, there is a Bhagavad Gita, hymns of Mirabai, Sufi bhajans, Buddhist hymns, Guru Nam Jap, Brahmakumari's devotional songs, songs of Baha'i faith, etc. There is the Benedictus sung by Zachariah, the glory of the angels at the birth of Jesus, and Simeon's song in the temple. But first and foremost among them is Mary's song, the Magnificat. When the time had fully come, the eternal Word danced in her womb, inviting all of us to sing and dance as sons and daughters of God. Jesus Christ, the cosmic dancer, brings a victory over evil and becomes a symbol of hope, inviting the humanity to a creative newness to collaborate with God who makes all things new. In a short while, we will witness the musings of a legacy, a musical dance drama that manifests Vidyajyoti, the light of knowledge, as Vidyadana, the act of imparting knowledge. Vidyajyoti Institute of Religious Studies and Faculty of Theology is more than bricks and walls. It is built on the noble thoughts of Tameva Bantam Anubhati Sarvam, people of God and we the people. It is indeed a moment of joy and satisfaction, not just for the present staff and students, but also for so many men and women who have passed through the portals of this institute. There is a Chinese proverb that the person who plants for 1 year sows grains. The one who plants for 10 years plants fruit-gathering trees, and the one who plants for generations develops human. We pay our glorious tributes to Father Pedro Arupe, former Superior General of the Society of Jesus, who dreamt of an educational institute like Vidyajyoti in Delhi to prepare faith-filled men and women with a strong sense of social justice and interfaith processes. Dear one and all, we are extremely happy to have in our midst Dr. Medha Patkar, the chief guest of this evening. A word about her is fitting indeed. Medha Patkar ji is an Indian social activist and worked on various crucial political and economic issues raised by tribals, Dalits, farmers, laborers, and women facing injustice in India. She is an alumnus of Tata Institute of Social Sciences and a classmate of Father George Peter, a premier Institute of Social Science Research in India. Patkar ji is the founder member of the People's Movement Narmada Bachao Andolan and has been engaged in a struggle for justice for the people affected by the dam projects related to the Sardar Sarovar Dam project, especially those whose homes were submerged. She is also one of the founders of the National Alliance of People's Movements, an alliance of hundreds of progressive people's organizations. In addition to the above, Patkar ji was a commissioner on the World Commission on Dams, which did thorough research on the environmental, social, political, and economic aspects and impacts of the development of large dams globally and their alternatives. Last time, when I met her was at Singhu border on the outskirts of Delhi at the largest farmers' movement in the world. And she asked me, Father John, where are your students? I told her, Madam Ji, that unfortunately all our students are back in their respective provinces and states, and we are holding online classes due to the sad corona reality. Certainly our students missed that big experience on the borders of Delhi. Today, her presence certainly will inspire our staff and students. On behalf of staff and students of Vidyajyoti, I welcome you all to participate in this Kairos moment and to have a pleasant evening during this program that is followed by festive dinner. मैं स्वागत के दो शब्द हिंदी में बोलना चाहता हूं। आज हम विद्याज्योति कॉलेज के दिल्ली में 50 साल पूरे होने की स्वर्ण जयंती मना रहे हैं। इस शुभ अवसर पर हमें अत्यंत खुशी है कि हमारे बीच फील्ड वर्क से बहुत सारे भाई बहन उपस्थित हैं, जहां विद्याज्योति के फादर, ब्रदर एवं सिस्टरगण मिनिस्ट्री के लिए जाते हैं। इस मिनिस्ट्री के कार्य को सफलतापूर्वक संपन्न करने के लिए आप सबका योगदान एवं विद्याज्योति परिवार के साथ आपका सहयोग बहुमूल्य है। हम इसके लिए आपके सादर आभारी हैं। आज की इस शाम में हमारी खुशी है, शामिल होने के लिए हम आपका सहृदय धन्यवाद करते हैं। इस कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ाने के लिए आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है। आइए हम एक साथ इस कार्यक्रम का आनंद लें। बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, dear Father John. The portals of Vidyajyoti have been privileged to host several eminent guests over the years who through their words and lifestyle have left an indelible mark in the lives of students and the staff. We are indeed honored today to have dignitaries who have been associated with Vidyajyoti in so many ways, and it is right that we recognize their presence and honor them. I request Father Nirmal Raj that first of all, I humbly request the chief guest of this evening, Srimati Medha Patkar, founder member of Narmada Bachao Andolan, to receive this honor from Father Rector. Thank you, ma'am. I now request Father Rector to honor His Grace Archbishop Anil J. T. Kuto, Metropolitan Archbishop of Delhi and the patron of Vidyajyoti College. Thank you, dear Archbishop. I now request Father Rector to honor His Excellency Bishop Deepak Tauro, Auxiliary Bishop of Delhi. Thank you, dear Bishop. I now request Father Rector to honor His Grace Archbishop Emeritus Vincent Conceso. Thank you, dear Bishop. I request Father Rector to honor Monsignor Juan Pablo Hernandez. Thank you, Monsignor. I now request Father Rector to honor Father Stanislas de Souza, the Provincial of South Asia. Thank you, dear Father. I now request Father Rector to honor Father Susai Mani, Provincial of Delhi Jesuit Province. Thank you, Father Susai Mani. Thank you, dear Father Rector, for honoring our dignitaries. Vidyajyoti has grown leaps and bounds since its inception in Delhi. Along with conferring degrees in theology, it also extends its services to the public through the distance education program in theology, through the publication of Vidyajyoti Journal of Theological Reflection, scholarly research in Islam, and many such initiatives. This has been made possible by the vision and commitment of the rectors and principals of this college. Therefore, it is our duty to acknowledge their contribution and honor them. I implore His Grace Archbishop Anil J. Tikuto to felicitate all the rectors of Vidyajyoti. I request Archbishop to felicitate Father John Manipadam. Thank you, Father. I request Archbishop to felicitate Father Abraham Pudumana. Thank you, Father. I request our Archbishop to felicitate Father Michael Amaladas, who has also been the principal of Vidyajyoti College. I request our Archbishop to felicitate Father Joseph Matthias. Thank you, Father. I request our Archbishop to felicitate Father Vincent Amalanathan. Thank you, Father. May I now request our Archbishop to felicitate Father Joseph Sebastian. Thank you, dear Father. Thank you, dear Archbishop, for felicitating our esteemed rectors. We also remember and thank other former rectors who couldn't be here with us today. Father Henry Barla, Father Edward Mudavaseri, and Father Michael Dhanraj. I now request His Excellency Bishop Deepak Tauro to honor the principals of Vidyajyoti College. I request our Bishop to honor Father George Mulakulil. I request the Bishop to honor Father John Chattanath. I request our Bishop to honor Father Francis Gonzalez. One of our principals is here among the audience. I would request the Bishop to honor Father T.K. John. Thank you, dear Bishop Deepak. We also remember and thank one of our former principals, Father Leonard Fernando, in his absence. We also thank Father Arokya Swami in his absence. Thank you, dear Bishop, again. Thank you, dear rectors and principals, for toiling unceasingly for the growth of this college. Let us give a big round of applause to all of them.
We are truly honored, privileged, and blessed to have the presence of His Grace, Archbishop Anil Jeti Kuto, Metropolitan Archbishop of Delhi. May I invite him to share his sentiments on the occasion of Vidyajyoti Golden Jubilee celebration.
On this very joyful and momentous occasion of the 50th anniversary of Vidyajyoti in Delhi, with Srimati Meda Patkar as our chief guest for this occasion, and all the glittering personalities here on the dais, we know the significance of this event, and of course the objectives for which Vidyajyoti has given its best in the whole field of theologizing, as we have heard. During this 50 years of this journey, Vidyajyoti has grown, as Father Pierre John has so beautifully told us, and I consider myself privileged for having been part of this journey of the 50 years of Vidyajyoti as a student, then as a priest, then called to be in God's mercy bishop, auxiliary, and then now for the last 10 years Archbishop of Delhi. And from my memory, I know what Vidyajyoti means to us in the Archdiocese of Delhi, and how it was for Archbishop Angelo Fernandez, in whose time Vidyajyoti moved from the hills of Kurseong to this city of Delhi, what it meant for him in his theological framework, himself being a great theologian, a peritus who has made a mark in the Second Vatican Council, who had a great role to play in the pastoral constitution of the Second Vatican Council on the church in the modern world, Gaudium et Spes. So for him, Vidyajyoti was the cynosure of his eyes. So I congratulate Vidyajyoti on behalf of the Archdiocese of Delhi and thank God for its presence here and for the contribution to the church in India, to the church in the world, in the whole field of theology, and especially contextual theology during these years, and pray that Vidyajyoti may be blessed and may continue to do this wonderful service. And I know that it will not cease. It will carry on doing with the same thrust and the same enthusiasm, of course, understanding itself more and more as to what God has called this institution to contribute. It's a journey, and as we go along on a journey, on a pilgrimage, we always definitely leave the past behind. We understand the present into the future. That's what is happening in Vidyajyoti. I'm so glad that the previous rectors have been honored. They are here. Previous principals have been honored. They are here. Previous professors, and that Vidyajyoti has covered 50 years. Father T.K. John himself, looking at him, we know that it has really journeyed for the last 50 years. I remember him. I feel I could be back again into his classroom and his classes. He was known more outside than in the classroom, of course, for all his social activism, and the way in which he, made theology so simple for us, with his humor, with his similes and his metaphors. That is Father T.K. John, who epitomizes, I would say, what theologizing should be. So on this wonderful occasion, once again, the assurance of our prayers for Vidyajyoti, for its future, and thank the Lord for what it has been. They have truly been fools for Christ, I would say, for having left the salubrious hills of Kurseong and to come to this city of Delhi with all its heat and dust and the teeming population and all that we go through. But that was the purpose, and all that was done, and the decision has been vindicated. So once again, God bless you all, and may Vidyajyoti grow and flourish to continue giving its wonderful contribution to the church and human society. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Archbishop, for recalling your memories and sharing with us. Thank you very much for your heartwarming words. I now invite Father Stanislas D'Souza, Provincial of South Asia and Chancellor of our institution, to address the gathering.
Respected Meda Padka, the chief guest of the program, Archbishop Anil Kuto, bishops, Monsignor Juan Pablo, Father Provincial, Father Rector, Father Principal, members of the staff, and my dear friends, good evening to you. At the outset, I extend my congratulations to the Vidyajyoti family, the rector, the principal, members of the staff, and the students on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee. How fast these 50 years have rolled by. It feels as if it was just yesterday when Vijay came down from the snowy Himalayan heights to the roasting plains of Delhi. These 50 years have not been merely a number for Vijay. They were moments of enriching, ennobling, and empowering experiences. As the name suggests, Vidyajyoti, it has been the lamp of knowledge and wisdom and has brightened the future of many, including the young and women formies of many congregations and dioceses. When I think of Vidyajyoti, I remember an old romantic Hindi song, Zindagi aur kuch bhi nahi, teri meri kahani hai. I know you don't want me to sing. The story of Vidyajyoti has been a story of close encounters of so many people, staff and students, benefactors and beneficiaries, the church and the society of Jesus, the seasoned intellectuals and the young minds, Christians and the followers of other religions, activists and the poor in and around Delhi. What a lovely trajectory Vijay has traveled, and what a valuable legacy it has left behind. As I said, when St. Mary's College, Kurseong moved to Delhi and became Vidyajyoti, it was not merely a change of place and name. It was a paradigm shift. With a new vision and mission, it engaged with a variety of people and different realities of India, and thus became a well-known center of contextual theology and subaltern studies. On a personal note, allow me to recall with joy and gratitude the golden time I was privileged to spend here in this abode of learning and love, labor and laughter, interaction and interventions. We had a band of brilliant professors, most of them are here on the days, who are not only intellectual giants, but also organic intellectuals, who had finer sensibilities for pain and struggles of people. Hence, they made theological studies incarnational. Along with the classroom teaching, they led us to the slums, made us interact with experts in spiritual and secular fields, put us in contact with the inspiring activists like Medha Patka. They also encouraged us to participate in peaceful protests to protect and promote the human rights and dignity of all our people, especially the last, the least, and the lost. It was indeed an integral approach to theology. On a solemn and sentimental occasion like this, as we look at the past with nostalgia and gratitude and celebrate the present with color and gaiety, we need to reimagine and reorient Vidyajyoti so that we may continue the great legacy. It is an opportune time to read the signs of the times and respond to them in order to be relevant and responsive. I'm sure the VJ family will continue to be a community of discernment with intellectual and spiritual depth, and a platform for collaboration and networking with clear co-responsibility and selfless solidarity. Let me conclude with the memorable words of Dag Hammarskjöld. For all that has been, thanks. And for all that will be, yes. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Father. Moments come and go, but memories last forever. The journey of the past 50 years of Vidyajyoti has gathered numerous in a souvenir by the strenuous effort of the committee headed by Father Stanislas Allah and Scholastic Pravin Jose. We request both of them to come over to the stage. I now invite Father Stanislas D'Souza to release the souvenir and hand over to Srimati Medha Patka, Archbishop Anil Jeti Kuto, let us give them a big round of applause. Father John Manipadam, and to Father Amaladas, and to Father Stanislas and Pravin Jose. Thank you, fathers. Before we begin the musical drama, I request all the dignitaries to take their seats. Distinguished guests and well-wishers of Vidyajyoti staff and students, along with Miss Grace David, Father Ravi Shekhar, Father Saju George and his team Kalaridai, present before you The Musings of a Legacy, a musical dance drama.
Celebrate, commemorate, and enlarge the space of the rich legacy of Vidyajyoti Institute of Religious Studies, Faculty of Theology, as it completes a span of 50 years in the nation's capital and continues to strive forward in its mission. Theological education at Vidyajyoti draws inspiration from the conciliar as well as the teachings of the popes and bishops' conferences on Christian engagement with other religions. Vidyajyoti draws insights from the Federation of Asian Bishops' Conference with a focus on triple dialogue, that is, with the poor, cultures, and religions.
Generations of students of theology remember how in these two buildings on 4A and 23 Raj Nivas Mar, theological churning, Manthan, engaged them. Vidyajyoti has hosted numerous conferences and festivals, published books and periodicals, and invited a galaxy of thinkers, theologians, scholars, social activists, and people from the peripheries. International and national conferences on contextual theology, inculturation, liberation, globalization, wounded history, new evangelization, synodality, Indian constitution, the role of critical thinking in theology, the role of theology in nation building, just to mention a few, have broadened the intellectual horizons of the staff and students. Vidyajyoti is, however, more than just an academic institution. It is a way of life designed to form men and women dedicated to the service of others, who let the inner divine light shine out through them over the past 50 years. Therefore, numerous students of Vidyajyoti have gone out with fire in their hearts for God's people.
Let us now sit back and witness a musical dance drama, reminiscence of Vidyajyoti, that has withstood the test of time and has in itself become a sign of our times. It is our sincere hope and endeavor that we rekindle the fire and set hearts ablaze, all who witness it, to go out into the world as ambassadors of God's love, especially unto the least.
So, you are new too?
Yes, and I'm really delighted. It was my dream to study in Vidyajyoti. This campus, though small, is beautiful. Let's go inside.
Look at this! It's so amazing! I am sure there is a meaning to this, and it is symbolic of something. Wish someone could tell us more about Vidyajyoti and its history.
am Sophia, the Prajna, the wisdom of God that you seek. I am also part of your being, the indwelling spirit, Antaratma, that wants to lead you to knowledge and truth. Come, I will take you on a journey that spans 50 years and more, and of which all of us here are a part. Can you read this line?
Tameva Bantam Anubhati Sarvam.
This line is from Katha Upanishad 5:15. I know what this means. It means everything shines after him as he shines.
God represented here as the flame, the only source of light that shines in human wisdom, as it searches for the meaning of reality and dispels darkness that envelopes the world. This is the motto of Vidyajyoti. Like the rays of the sun that rise from the east but spread over in the entire world, the light of the divine shines forth in our motherland, India, through our institute. Let us, as we begin our sacred journey, pray that this divine light of God's wisdom illuminate us and flow into us just like it has illuminated the scholars, staff, and students down the decades. celebrate the completion of 50 years of Vidyajyoti in Delhi, it is important to locate the trajectory of its roots. Vidyajyoti's story can be divided into 3 journeys. Are you ready to go back in time to the first journey? To understand this, we have to go all the way back to the year 1878. Yes, it is more than a century backward. A philosophy house called St. Joseph's Seminary with just 8 scholastics. And the place, Hazaribagh, is the beginning where Jesuits from India and Sri Lanka were trained. Belgian Jesuits who had founded both the Bengal Mission and Calcutta Archdiocese were responsible to train these scholastics and seminarians.
What a wonderful group of Belgian missionaries that must be.
The fledgling center soon moved to Asansol, and under the same name, St. Joseph's Seminary, where courses in philosophy and theology were conducted between 1881 and 1887. However, soon it was rechristened as Seminary of St. Mary's and continued to have both students of philosophy and theology.
Oh, that was how Asansol became our center.
It was on 22nd January 1889 that the seminary was moved to Cursior, with the French Jesuits of Madurai Mission opening Sacred Heart College at Chemraganur in 1898 for the students of philosophy. Eventually, the seminary became an exclusive theologate at Cursior. In the year 1900, there were 29 scholastics, of whom 11 were Indian, mostly from Calicut and Madurai missions.
It feels amazing that missionaries from the West came together in an Oriental center to gain knowledge and spread it around the world.
Yes, and thus Cursior was established as the center of Christic learning, where from all directions of the peninsula, elected and selected, inspired and sent young men began to assemble in a community in order to learn about divine wisdom, to get the feel of Christian spirituality, and to experience the devotional build-up of Western spirituality in Eastern garb, parallel to the Indian spirituality of Jnana, Karma and Bhakti Marga.
चुन चुन के पृष्ठभूमि की सजाई, प्रेम छुअन के संग साथ अपने चुने हुआ के निमित्त संहार रखा था आशियाना। नाम तुझे नित प्रतिष्ठित, प्रेरित रक्षित अतिरक्षित।
Good morning, fathers. Good morning, father. You seem to be in deep thought. What has happened?
Yes,
and that is why I have called for a meeting to discuss something very urgent and important. This thought has been taking root in the hearts of many of the staff and students here, but never materialized. It is regarding a shifting out of Kurseong.
Father, I hope we all remember that in 1926 too, our rector, Father Alphonse Wigney, had raised this question, but the discussion had ended in a draw. Life moved on, and in 1939, we celebrated our Golden Jubilee and invested in a new building for the library. So nothing really materialized.
Yes, but now after independence, so much has changed. Though Kurseong is beautiful, the height of 5,454 feet and the cold climate are not suitable for many. Also, we have so many Indian scholastics now, but this place is remote from the life of their country's life and struggles. Remember, fathers, we have to reflect the call of the Second Vatican Council in our priestly formation too. That is, a faith that does justice.
Father is right. I feel we must shift to another place. We need to immerse ourselves into the context of our people, their struggles, and their culture.
But haven't we settled in? And what about the years of hard work? All of us know that we came here in 1889. It is 1962 now. We have done so much. We should maybe make plans of making infrastructure and facilities better.
We cannot also ignore the political climate. There is the Chinese aggression on the Indian borders, which we in Kurseong cannot overlook.
Yes, that is a big concern too. Vatican II has asked us to go forth in mission, and part of our theological mission is to be amongst the people of God and to evangelize. We cannot ignore this great missiological call of our church.
You know fully well that if it is necessary for Christianity to become incarnate in the culture of your ancient land, this need is perhaps all the more evident in the vast regions of North. While bearing witness to Christ, the staff and students of St. Mary's can assist in the process of the Indianization of the church. They can also constitute a center of theological reflection on the problems of the contemporary world.
Yes, let us move ahead.
We have to be men for others, and we cannot isolate ourselves now. We need to go out and be in the midst of all our fellow men and women. So first, we will form teams to go and search for a place. Hyderabad, Calcutta, Bombay, Allahabad, and Ranchi can be our possible sites. I will be visiting Delhi too, and let's see where God leads us to move our college. In fact, land is available in Ranchi, and seeing it as the newly emerging epicenter of Catholicism in North India, in the midst of the culturally rich Adivasi belt, we can consider it.
Father Pedro Arupe visited Delhi in 1970 and decided to transfer St. Mary's to Delhi. He directed that it be temporarily accommodated in the building section which was about to be closed at St. Xavier's School until a new site is purchased and buildings constructed. Thus, St. Mary's College was shifted in the winter of 1971-72 to Delhi, and classes began on 17th January 1972 at Vidyajyoti, Institute of Religious Studies, Faculty of Theology, having 62 theologians and 13 professors, transporting libraries 70,000 volumes. A Herculean task was carried out efficiently. Father Walcott packed the books, and Father Michael Barra was entrusted with the work of transportation.
In the meanwhile, the efforts to find a new site once again failed, and upon request, the Provincial of Patna very kindly agreed to place a part of St. Xavier's School at the disposal of the Theologate. Construction started, and Father Arupe blessed the academic block in 1977, and the Vidyajyoti residence was ready for use by 1979. Since 1932, St. Mary's College, as a reserve faculty, has been training only the Jesuits, but after 1968, Vatican allowed it to admit any other duly qualified student. Consequently, from 1974, seminarians of the Delhi Archdiocese and of other dioceses, as well as the religious, began to enroll themselves.
Thus ends the first journey of Vidyajyoti. What a glorious legacy we have of the hard work of our Jesuit fathers, who had the vision and courage to take risks as they discerned the way forward in prayer. The second journey of Vidyajyoti. Let us start by looking at the thought processes of some of our professors who built our college to be what it is today.
बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है. Aren't you TK? Of course, Father Gisbert, I am TK. I am TK John, and I am TK. What is not TK is the way Greco-Latin centric theology, though valuable, is not related to the context of India and Asia. We need to integrate the precious jewels of our Eastern religious traditions into our work and teaching. What do you think, Father Amalados?
Yes, but I wonder what will our Indian brothers and sisters say about Jesus Christ? As if he is asking us in India, who do you say I am?
Father Samuel Rhine, your thoughts, please.
The women, Dalits and the tribals, and all those whose voices have been suppressed are the voices that we need to articulate in our theology.
Vatican II has given us this mandate in its decree on the missionary activity of the Church and openness to culture. Scriptures of other faiths are also holy ground, and the need of the hour is religious listening to recognize what the Spirit is saying to us. All is holy. In India, the trees, the river, the stone, सब कुछ.
I agree, and let's go a step further. There can be an authentic seeking of God that is simply different from and irreconcilable from the Christian one. And as far as, my dear friends, we do not have a monopoly over Christ. Christ is for all. Christ is incarnate in every culture. Father Aragasamy, why are you so quiet?
The human person is in the image and likeness of God. And one of the biggest signs of this is freedom. Freedom is integral to humanum and is universal and inviolable. And this is also what leads us to understand human rights. The moral commitment to the dignity of every human person, Sarvodaya, is mediated by the critical option for the last and the least, Antyodaya.
Well said, Father Arokya. Continuing with what Father Amal said, I still wonder what could be an Indian Christology. Jesus cannot be a remote figure in history. he has to have significance in the present realities of our society today, especially in Asia.
In Christ, God reaches to all of us everywhere.
You know who comes to my mind? Thomas Stevens, Robert Dinobili, Joseph Constantine Besky, and John Calmette. Their method of encounter with the culture of India led them to appreciate and value all that was beautiful and good in it.
With Jesus, everything was about the human person and his or her total well-being. To devalue a human person in favor of power, profit, or prestige, be it sacred or secular, would be the ultimate evil in his eyes. And it could be our stance too in our theology.
I hope you all are writing all this.
I am going to Rishikesh with my students, Gangachi. I will be teaching a course on Hinduism, don't forget.
Our academic community surely needs to go to the field. The harvest is rich and plentiful, if you understand.
I understand it as involvement with the people who are made poor by oppressive systems. So many sectors, not only in Delhi, but across the nation.
The rickshaw pullers around our college to begin with.
The prisons, the slums, the lepers,
the street kids.
So then, what is theology?
Theology is believers searching for an experiential understanding of God as relevant to transforming their lives in the world.
Also, this transformation is collective and communitarian too. The church is nothing if not prophetic and if there is no praxis.
Rooted in Indian traditions, cultures, and context, we forge a path of serving this nation and the world.
We have to interpret Christ to India and Asia, and let our theology be a force of liberation.
For me, theology is maybe to think like an Indian.
We need a woman's voice too. Let's meet Sister Shalini in the break and continue the discussion.
Since 1974, the doors of Vidyajyoti were opened to all duly qualified students. It also extends its theological services to a larger public than its regular students through a distance education program in theology. From 1977, more than 300 women have studied theology in Vidyajyoti.
In Vidyajyoti, theological education and fieldwork experiences are intrinsically linked to each other. This method helps the academic community to develop attitudes, interests, values and orientations, spaces and processes to cultivate and promote divine human values of justice, love, integrity, compassion, hope and faith. Vidyajyoti in its past 50 years has made a sincere effort to be part of the life and struggles of the poor in the city of Delhi through its involvement in various slums, centers for TB and leprosy patients run by the missionaries of charity, rickshaw pullers, street children, sex workers, Adivasi domestic workers, prisoners in Tihar jail, refugees and moving to public places of intellectuals.
regional theology centers were initiated by Jesuit Conference of South Asia and Vidyajyoti. Father Joseph Mutton pioneered by establishing the first one in 1978 in Gujarat. Eventually, Madurai, Patna, Ranchi, Bombay, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra, Calcutta, and Indian Missionary Society, Varanasi, opened their regional theology centers. While most of them are closed, the three of them continue, morphed as Jesuit formation centers of theology, namely Ranchi, Chennai, and Bangalore. Vidyajyoti has constantly promoted subaltern theologies, Dalit, Adivasi, and feminist. Vidyajyoti students and staff have participated in various movements of people and expressed solidarity with those who are unjustly oppressed or violated. The publications of Vidyajyoti continue to contribute to the advancement of theological research and knowledge. Apart from the books published by the faculty members, since 1936, St. Mary's Vidyajyoti has been publishing Clergy Monthly, Vidyajyoti Journal of Theological Reflection, serving the Church in South Asia. Our other monthly, Ave, also known as Vachan Sudha, with its the faith of thousands of Catholics.
Vidyajyoti is privileged to interact with the Archdiocese of Delhi, pastorally or otherwise. Vidyajyoti is what it is because of dozens of staff members and students, rectors and registrars, well-wishers and benefactors, and hundreds of ordinary people, humble and little known, by their generosity and dedication, have built up Vidyajyoti into what it is today. Over the last 50 years, Vidyajyoti has rooted and immersed itself in the heart of our motherland to make its mark in the hearts of all those who seek Christ and the true God.
विद्याज्योति के आने पर भूमि बनी नई नवेली बतलहम। विद्याज्योति के आने पर भूमि बनी नई नवेली बतलहम। नई संस्था प्रभु कवि को जन्मलाल दिल्ली के बतलहम में। नई संस्था प्रभु कवि को जन्मलाल दिल्ली के बतलहम में। मुट्ठी भर ईसाइयों ने रब धक्का करके चरवाहों की भूमिका निभाई। मुट्ठी भर ईसाइयों ने रब धक्का करके चरवाहों की भूमिका निभाई। उन दिनों मूवी से नया मिशन प्रारंभ हुआ। नया मिशन प्रारंभ हुआ 1972 में। 1972 में बस्तियां, झोपड़पट्टियां गंदी बस्तियां, हो बदल कर मानवाधिकार पाठशालाएं बनी, मानवाधिकार पाठशालाएं बनी। उपासनालय दिल्ली के याच की, सेवा प्रयोगशालाएं, प्राकृतिक व मानव सर्जित विपदाओं में सच्ची मानव सेवा के सेवक बनने का नमूना पेश किया, सेवक बनने का नमूना पेश किया। विद्या ज्योति शाला ने विद्या ज्योति के नामे पर जियो प्यारे, अवश्य जियो, अवश्य जियो, किंतु अपने लिए नहीं, दूसरों के लिए जियो, दूसरों के लिए जियो। प्राणों की आहुति देना क्यों ना पड़े, ताकि दूसरे जीवन पाए। प्राणों की आहुति देना क्यों ना पड़े, ताकि दूसरे जीवन पाए। इससे बढ़कर कोई नहीं, जो दूसरों के लिए ही अपने प्राण दे। इससे बढ़कर कोई नहीं, जो दूसरों के लिए ही अपने प्राण दे। विद्या ज्योति के नाने पर नमकीनता मानव समुदायों में, नमकीनता मानव समुदायों में, ज्वलनशीलता जागरूकता दिया दीप में, ज्वलनशीलता जागरूकता दिया दीप में। खुशबू रौनक गुलाब में, मधुर संगीत वीणा के झंकार में। नामित प्रेषित चयनित रक्षित तुम तो, रंग बहार इंद्रधनुष के बन जाओ। खुशबू रौनक गुलाब में, मधुर संगीत वीणा के झंकार में। नामित प्रेषित चयनित रक्षित तुम तो, रंग बहार इंद्रधनुष के बन जाओ। तुम प्रभु के प्रेरित नवयुग के, तकनीकी युगीन राष्ट्र के तृतीय सहस्त्राब्दी भारत के। विद्या ज्योति के आने पर दिल्ली बनी नई नवेली बतलहन। विद्या ज्योति के आने पर दिल्ली बनी नई नवेली बतलहन।
After witnessing all this and understanding what are the two journeys of Vidyajyoti, I can only say this: we stand on holy ground.
Yes, true. And now we are privileged to be part of the third journey of Vidyajyoti. Let us ask Sophia what that could be.
I know that you are wondering what is going to be Vidyajyoti's future. Tell me, what are the signs of the times? What are the prophetic calls that are resounding? In which direction is the church heading? Do you see hope? And do you see a future?
The call is to be a synodal church that journeys together and enlarges its tents to include all, especially those at the periphery.
Pope Francis has asked us to hear the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. Also, our Jesuit universal apostolic preferences give us a horizon: the excluded, the youth, and those seeking a path to God.
To save the democracy and to rescue the Constitution.
Yes, and let us invite more voices that will affirm our way forward and be our guides.
My future is at stake as I will inherit a planet that will be totally unlivable. Can you stand by me to raise your voice and to save this earth? There is no planet B.
Our culture and land is our wealth. Can we get the assurance that you will stand with us? Will you open yourself to my world?
In the name of religion, caste, color and creed, can we stop fighting and live as one family? Will you stand by us to save the democratic framework of our country and motherland?
I still don't feel safe. Though I am educated, I am still not treated as an equal. I am violated, subjugated and oppressed. Will you be my ally? And can we work together to form a new society?
I don't need pity, but the truth is that I am different. I do feel excluded. I don't have access to all the privileges that you have. Will you recognize my pain and speak with me and for me?
I want to know God, but I don't connect religion. I am so confused about my life. I feel alone and misunderstood. I need help. I want a guide. Will you show me the way?
We are at the margins. We are hungry and tired. Do you see us?
And we hear, we feel your pain. We will raise our voice for your rights. We will show you the path to the heart of the divine. We will be the light of Christ.
Vidyajyoti is going to do its role as a part of this synodal church that is called to encounter, listen and discern. We are called to be open to change and challenges and conversion. We are invited to go beyond our comfort zones to the peripheries.
With faith, hope and courage, and in solidarity with our brothers and sisters of all faiths. Yes, in imitation of Christ, who showed us the way of selfless sacrifice and service. Thank you, Sophia. The journey of Vidyajyoti continues, and you are our guide. teaching us to be the people of faith, a blaze like
big clap. It was in the month of October 2022 when this concept emerged. God sent Father James Topo to Vidyajyoti. James Topo belongs to Ranchi province. He was one of the first early batches of Vidyajyoti. So just I shared the idea, but I told him, Father, I'm looking for someone to write good Hindi lyrics, and he readily agreed. The lyrics were written in Ranchi, both by Father James Ignatius Topo and Francis Minch. When the lyrics reached us, I had a conversation with Father Ravi Shekhar and Saju George. How do we go about? Once again, the grace of God came to us in the person of Grace David. She was our student and continues to do MTH studies. And I roped her into this great venture. And I told her, Grace, you have only 3 weeks. You must come up with English script. And she readily agreed. In the first week of January, she handed over the script to us. Then I approached Father Valency Anthony. I requested him to come onto the stage to do thorough editing and chisel it with the theological thoughts. Then once again, 4 of us, David Grace, Father Saju George, and Ravi Shekhar, sat together. How do we go about it? We took these lyrics and script to Hyderabad. And Father Ravi Shekhar and N. Suresh Prasad, a lay Catholic, we made use of from Tollywood as well as ZTV Catholics who are working in this industry to bring out the best tunes possible. And that's why you have witnessed classic as well as folk music is brought into, with the Delhi Qawwali also into it. And then we handed over the lyrics as well as the music with the songs to Father Saju George. Thank you very much, all the dancers, for the beautiful choreography that you have done, for all the dancers. Please give them a big clap. Then it was a Herculean task to merge the actors. And I think due to Corona, many of us are losing acting on the stage, especially young people. So we brought a lot of our Vidyajyoti students, trained them, thanks to David Grace once again. And then we have 2 young people sitting there, Anish Raj and Amal Bosco and Oscar, who gave us audiovisual support. It was almost like a movie. Thanks to them. And we were ably supported by, I made a request to Father T.J. Jose, the principal of St. Xavier's School, to place at our disposal all the things are available in the school, and especially made a request to give us Mr. Zubin, Mr. Yogesh, and Mr. Rajendra to handle the light and sound system. And for the 4 days they have been with us, many rehearsals, and today it has come out extremely well. Thanks to all of you. And of course, behind the curtains, there were many people, prop team, as well as parents of David Grace, helped by another Columbus school teacher. They are the ones who did the makeup for the actors, and that's the fruit that you see on this stage. So we would like to honor especially all the dancers. Father Saju Judge is a Jesuit priest, he is there, and many of you know. And I request His Grace Archbishop Anil J.T. Kutu, Monsignor Paulo, and Father Nirmal Raj, Rector, to come on to the dais. Request Father Ravi Shekhar and Miss David Grace to come on to the dais. We will honor them with the shawl. Vallan. Thank you very much. Once again, we give a big applause for all this. Thank you.
It's a great honor to have Srimati Medha Patkar as our chief guest. I now invite Medha Patkar ma'am to give us a message.
Srimati Medha Patkarji would like to honor one of the senior most Jesuits who worked in the faculty and retired, and that is none other than Guruji, Father T.K. John.
I was wondering which language I should speak. Whether it should be a folk or a language of the future. All the eminent dignitaries, respected His Grace Archbishop Anil Kutoji, respected Bishop Deepak Taroji, His Grace all the former rectors, principals, students, and also the present members of the faculty and those who have come from the field. My heart is immersed in the performances and we also have a graceful presence of the representative from the Embassy of Vatican City which I was to visit, but somehow missed that occasion due to some problem. It is really that I am thankful to Father Pierre John for giving me this opportunity. It's a pleasure and privilege to be here, and I don't just congratulate but salute you all for taking this path of equity, justice, integrity, and humanity through the Vidyajyoti for 50 years of your struggle, reconstruction, education, and also the working with the oppressed classes. It's really a wonderful performance which has not just brought before us the journey, but the manzil as well. ये जो हमारे सामने अभी प्रस्तुत किया गया, वो केवल एक रास्ता नहीं दिखा रहा था जो पार करते हुए आप यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं, गोल्डन जुबिली सेलिब्रेशन तक, लेकिन आगे की दिशा और आपकी मंजिल भी, आपका विजन, आपकी विचारधारा भी यहाँ प्रस्तुत की गई है। इसलिए आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ और सलाम करती हूँ। साथियों, विद्याज्योति नर्मदा आंदोलन के साथ एक जुड़ी हुई संस्था है। We always had fathers, and I remember the meetings we had with your grand and open infrastructure of the National Alliance of People's Movements. The first meeting that discussed my paper on Jana Samsad, the People's Parliament, was held in Vidyajyoti, which I cannot forget. Friends, when it is the education which really aims at transcending one's life, one's own individual, family, and environs around, जब हम लोग शिक्षा से खुद से बाहर निकलते हैं और हमारी पारिवारिक दायरे भी बढ़ते हैं, तो इसमें फादर टीके जॉन जैसे आप सभी लोग जो एक प्रकार से व्यापक समाज के साथ जुड़े रहते हैं, उनके ही लिए आज अभिनंदन करने का दिन है। और ये एक खुलापन और खुलेपन में भी एक फोकस, एक लक्ष्य, एक प्राथमिकता उन समाज के तबकों पर जो कहे जाते हैं गरीब, मुझे नहीं पसंद आता है। वो धनिक होते हैं श्रम से, कुशलता से और अपने प्राकृतिक संसाधनों से जो वो ही बचाते हैं। And hence, when you are really focusing on these sections of our population, we know how valuable it is, the kind of contribution that you have been making for not less than 50 full years. It's not that easy. I'm sure you might not have presented all the challenges that you faced. It is not just moving from Asansol to Darjeeling to Delhi. It is moving beyond all the challenges which may be full of accusations, questioning, and even in the present circumstances, attacks which we cannot accept sitting idle. It is therefore necessary that when Father Pedro's quote that a faith is something that does justice, I would say Father Pedro would have also said that it is the faith that also fights for justice. That is a need of the hour. Because you know that there are 10,000 religions in the world. And even in India, not less than 8 in the core. But if you include Prakriti Dharma of Birsa Munda, 10,000 धर्म पूरे दुनिया में है. 8 धर्मों की बात हरदम भारत के परिप्रेक्ष्य में होती है, लेकिन अगर आप बिरसा मुंडा का प्रकृति धर्म भी इसमें जोड़ते हैं तो फिर उसे पता नहीं हम धर्म के नाम पर आगे चलने की दिशा और आज उसकी दशा, इसका एनालिसिस, इसका विश्लेषण जो थियोलॉजी के रूप में प्रस्तुत किया जाता है, वो कैसे थोड़े से समय में इस संवाद में लाया जाए. आज उसकी जरूरत है, क्योंकि धर्म के ही नाम पर जो अधर्म फैलाया जाता है उसको हम अहिंसा के रूप में, अहिंसक और सत्याग्रही के रूप में जब सामने खड़े होकर सवाल करने की हिम्मत करते हैं, तब विद्या ज्योति जैसे एक एक इंस्टीट्यूशन का कार्य एक बहुत अहम बनता है. इसलिए विद्या ज्योति ने जो एक बहुत बड़ी सेना खड़ी की है, अहिंसक शांति सेना, उनको हम लोग सलाम करते हैं. आज जरूरी है इस प्रकार की सेना की. द फोर्स दैट विद्या ज्योति हैज क्रिएटेड, इट इज not just building a generation, not just building a community of your students, but building future of this country. And that is really to be valued. हम देख रहे हैं कि आज faith, which is a pursuit of gods, goddesses, no doubt, but also of worship, rituals, etc. ये निश्चित कि आज ये हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमको हर धर्म का पालन करने, धर्म की आइडियोलॉजी समझकर, थियोलॉजिकल अप्रोच से आगे बढ़ते हुए धर्म का परिवर्तन भी करने, जो डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने ही स्वयं किया था, उसकी मंजूरी देती है, उसकी आज़ादी देती है. और इस पर जब सवाल किए जा रहे हैं तो कैसे हम, वी द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया, जिनके नाम पर ये संविधान दान नहीं किया गया, प्रस्तुत किया गया है, खुद को भी खुलेपन से देखने के लिए उसको कैसे बचाएंगे, ये आज का सबसे बड़ा सवाल है. और वो सवाल भी हमारे बेस्ट ऑफ आर्टिस्ट, डांसर्स, एक्टर्स, सभी ने, डायरेक्टर्स मिलकर यहाँ प्रस्तुत किया. इसके लिए उनको मैं जिंदाबाद करती हूँ. आज हम जो लोग देख रहे हैं कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैल्यूज ऑफ इक्विटी एंड जस्टिस, इसी को कुचला जा रहा है. एक कोई कॉरपोरेट का एनालिसिस सामने आता है तो देश हिल जाता है, लेकिन केवल ए से शुरू करके नहीं चलेगा, ए से जेड तक जाना पड़ेगा. और फिर उनका पूरा नेटवर्क जो आज इस अर्थव्यवस्था को ही नहीं, इस देश की राज व्यवस्था को भी पकड़ के रखा है. द अलायंस बिटवीन द पॉलिटिक्स एंड इकोनॉमिक्स, which is now exposed, but you cannot just stop at A. It is A to Z. Those billionaires who have earned 6 times the property during lockdown. When large percentage of our own population, hard-working, toiling masses, those who have preserved the natural resources, including oxygen for us, without which many of our brothers and sisters died, they were not even earning 3,000 rupees per month. And when it is very clear that last 8 years we have seen that 44 lakh crores rupees worth tax concessions were given to those who are not just crony capitalists but criminal capitalists, as I would call them. And also 30 lakh crores rupees worth debt relief was offered. Why is it that the farmers and laborers have to struggle, and with whom your students and your members of this family have to stand with? मैं आज संयुक्त किसान मोर्चा की मीटिंग से ही आई हूँ. कल रामलीला मैदान में हजारों या लाखों किसान, मजदूर, पशुपालक, आदिवासी, जो भी किसानी मानते हैं हम लोग, वो एकत्रित हो रहे हैं. आप सबका स्वागत होगा उस किसानी महापंचायत में. मैंने तो कहा आज मीडिया को कि वो महापंचायत मतलब एक छोटे से गांव की नहीं है, वो एक जन संसद है जिसको आज इस देश में जीवित करना, रखना और उसी में सही प्राथमिकता और निर्णय तय करना जरूरी है. It's not going to be just a Mahapanchayat, means a village or a few village level forum. It is in a kind of people's parliament. I would consider this also the same. Having the number of representatives of different sections, different visions, different ideologies who come together and then they take democratically the decisions, as we are shown how the Vidyajyoti has performed and taken various decisions, not only to move from one place to another, but to move from one section to another, who Vidyajyoti family always supported. That is the democratic process which we are missing today in this country. You know that it's not just hunger index, not just indices, but the practices which really matter. Whatever number we are going down to, we know that 80 crore of our people are facing hunger because 5 kg free grains do not fill stomachs of one family for 1 month. हम देखते हैं कि हमारा भूख के आधार पर निर्देशांक नीचे गया है, लेकिन केवल उससे नहीं तो 80 करोड़ लोग इस देश के आज भी भूखे हैं. 5 किलो उनको देने से भी उनका पेट 1 महीने तक एक परिवार का नहीं भरता है. ऐसी स्थिति में राइट टू फूड, all the laws which have to be necessarily in the context of the constitution, but those laws are being weakened, those laws are going amended. Within 20 hours, 21 laws were amended during lockdown, the pandemic situation, when the parliament was not really functioning. और आज भी क्या हो रहा है? आज भी अगर इन भूखे और प्यासे लोगों की दखल विद्याज्योति जैसी इंस्टीट्यूशन लेती है, अपने विद्यार्थियों को सेंसिटिव करती है, संवेदनशील बनाती है, पर सरकार अगर संवेदनशील नहीं है और संवादशील भी नहीं है, it doesn't have either sensitivity, sensibility, or even a pro-dialogue approach. That is something like an assault on democracy. और इसीलिए हम सब लोगों को आज खड़े रहने की जरूरत है. हम देख रहे हैं कि जल जंगल जमीन पर जीने वाले किसान ही नहीं, जिन का मैंने अभी उल्लेख किया, हमारे फिश वर्कर्स भी, वो क्या भुगत रहे हैं. विलिंजम पोर्ट इन केरला, your colleagues and comrades really stood up with the fish workers to save Earth, the planet Earth, which was referred to by a small little kid here. And then we all were asked a question whether we will stand up and fight non-violently, democratically, truthfully to save the planet Earth. The answer has to be yes, come what may. कितने भी केसेस फाइल करें, कितने भी झूठे एलिगेशंस लगाए, लेकिन हम लोगों को इस जल जंगल जमीन को, इस पृथ्वी को बचाने के सिवाय खुद को बचाना ही संभव नहीं है. 1500 साइंटिस्ट, वैज्ञानिक फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड are not just referring to climate change. That is discussed more in Paris and Copenhagen and Glasgow. And then Greta Thunberg, a young activist for not just a Friday but future, has to say that what happens in these summits, it's all blah, blah, blah. It's not a joke. It's something that is very seriously to be taken cognizance of. और इसीलिए आज यहाँ जो आसमान और तारे और भूमि की बात हो रही थी, आज नदियाँ सूख रही है, आज नदियाँ प्रदूषित है, आज नदियों पर बने बने बड़े बड़े बांधों से 4 टुकड़े एक एक नदी घाटी के किए जा रहे हैं और भूजल भी खत्म हो रहा है. जोशीमठ जब धंसता है, when Joshimath sinks, where we were staying only to provide relief after that Kedarnath tragedy, we feel shattered. Himalaya चेतावनी दे रहा है. Himalaya is warning us and challenging us. The same is to an extent happening to the Western Ghats. And same will happen to the Satpuras and Sahyadris and Nilgiris too. आज ऐसी स्थिति में हम लोग जब प्रकृति बचाने की बात करते हैं तो प्रकृति के साथ जीकर हमारी भूख मिटाने वाले पानी बोतल में भर के 55 पैसे पर लीटर लेकर 18 रुपए और 20 रुपए को बेचने वाले हमें नहीं बचा सकते. हमें बचा सकते हैं जो इस प्रकृति के साथ जीते आए हैं, और वो आदिवासी है, वो दलित है, वो कैटल ग्रेजर्स है, वो फार्मर्स है, वो फार्म लेबरर्स है, विमेन इंक्लूडेड. अगर ये हम ख्याल रखते हैं तो हमारे सामने बहुत बड़ा स्कोप है. It's an open ground where we cannot just play, but we can certainly, I must wind up. I never thought that I would be given such a short time. But you have enough time and scope, that's what I'm saying. And that is to really follow each of these goals, to feed everyone according to Article 47 of the Constitution, so that there are no thousands of deaths that are occurring till today, every day due to malnourishment. You have to fight to save rivers and save groundwater as well, because it is not just ease of doing business, it is the ease of living life, which includes livelihood, which includes education, which includes health, and not just as charitable services, but as the human right, legal right, and constitutional right that every citizen, voter citizen, as Advocate Upendra Bakshi, the legal luminary, always called it when he pleaded the case on Narmada. Friends, but we know that today the forest is lost because there is diamond under Bakswaha forest and there is coal under Hasdev Aranya forest in Chhattisgarh. हर जगह जंगल के नीचे क्या है ये देख रहे हैं. जंगल जिन्होंने बचाया है उन आदिवासियों को हक नहीं दे रहे हैं. एक एक जंगल दूसरे कंपनी को दे सकेंगे, इसलिए 1980 के कानून के नियम 2022 में बदलकर पार्लियामेंट में पेश किए हुए हैं. अभी तक हिम्मत नहीं हुई है उसको पास करने की, लेकिन वो अगर होंगे तो ग्राम सभा को भी पूछे नहीं जाने वाला है. What is Gram Sabha? What is Gram Panchayat? If it is local self-government, just to talk about and give slogans of Atmanirbharta is not enough. Every village community which will function democratically and take cognizance and the rightful occupation of all the natural resources and human resources will certainly bring in an alternative technology which would be decentralized, whether in water management or energy generation. That is possible. The world is now fast moving towards that end, and it has to if the humanity needs to be saved. But on the other hand, गीधों की नजर है जमीनों पर, गीधों की नजर है जंगल पर, गीधों की नजर है पानी और नदियों पर. It is not just development. It is the paradigm which is bringing in vulgar inequity and leading to not just occupation forcible, but also so-called legal acquisition and transition, transferring the resources to whom? To those who do not need it. If 1% of our population has 40% of property, why can't we tax them with proper wealth tax and inheritance tax up to 50%, but wealth tax at least up to 2%, which will bring into the state exchequer not less than 17.5 lakh crores, and that will feed people, that will denounce privatization and help the state, compel the state to perform its duties which are given to others who believe in profit over people and profit over nature. And that will be according to the Constitution. This Constitution has so many directive principles I need not talk about. But coming to your sector of education, what is happening today is Googleization. And that is Googleization also. We know that it has become exclusive. Many Adivasis, Dalits, as per the new Brahmanism, I would call it, are out of the real inclusive educational sector. And that we need to be really saved. We have our Jeevan Shalas run for last 30 years. 6,000 Adivasi boys have passed, but how many can we reach up to? Although they are real sportsmen and they are equally good in Kala and Krida and Natya, but their performances are very different. We were dancing throughout night on the 5th in the Holi when 80 drums were beaten throughout the night with thousands of men and women dancing. So their culture may be having a different kind of arts, but that cultural diversity which needs to be saved and which shows us the path of not only equity but also simplicity and self-reliance is something that I'm sure Vidyajyoti will offer as the path to all its students through its intellectual faculties who are also giving a visionary ideology and promoting that. I know that when we are for this kind of struggle, the rulers are not allowing that to happen. टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग हम नहीं हैं, वो कर रहे हैं. और ऐसे टुकड़े, ऐसा विभाजन कैसे किया जाता है, ये आपकी कम्युनिटी ने छत्तीसगढ़ में भुगता है. अभी अभी इंदौर में देखा है. आपने 50 साल तक ये बचा के रखा, यही एक बहुत बड़ी बात है. कल क्या होगा, ये सोचने का समय आया है. क्योंकि कहीं अंदर घुसकर कुछ अन्य गॉड्स एंड गॉडेसेस के नाम लिखना, ये रामलीला चल रही है. हम लोग मानते हैं कि सर्वधर्म समभाव की जो भावना आज आप व्यक्त की है, वही भावना 50 साल से आपने आगे बढ़ाई है. और इसका महत्व बहुत ही जरूरी है. Whether it is Prophet Muhammad, Bhagwan Mahavir, whether it is Jesus Christ, any dharma guru you take, no one has ever said kill others or attack others. And still it is the violence used through various means and strategies that is imposed on the community, which is community that loves peace, peace and peace. And hence it is necessary that we really reach out to the gaon and gali. We reach out to the people. हम लोग सब गांव गली में पहुंच जाए. हम लोग नफरत मिटाने की पूरी कोशिश करें. हम लोग धर्म के नाम पर अधर्म होता है तो उसको रोके. जब छत्तीसगढ़ में हमारी टीम फैक्ट फाइंडिंग के लिए गई, मैंने देखा कि कोंडा गांव में कलेक्टर और एसपी की भी नजर अलग थी, सोच अलग थी. और जब मुख्यमंत्री को मिले तो उन्होंने कहा, ताई अभी आपने इंटरिम रिपोर्ट किया है, उतना ही काफी है, और कुछ आगे करना नहीं तो वो उछल के आएंगे. नहीं, वो इछल के नहीं आएंगे। मैंने कहा आप अगर सही भूमिका लेते हैं तो कभी भी हमला नहीं होगा उनके घरों पर जिन्होंने स्वेच्छा से कोई धर्म स्वीकारा है। क्या होता है? धर्म जीने की राह होती है। बुद्ध कुछ देता है तो क्राइस्ट कुछ देता है, तो प्रोफेट मोहम्मद कुछ देता है, तो विवेकानंद कुछ कहते हैं। ये सभी को एकत्रित लाकर आगे बढ़ना, और इसके लिए ही वायलेंस को मिटाना, उसके सामने हिम्मत से खड़े रहना। वायलेंस कैनॉट बी एंडेड विथ वायलेंस, बट नॉन वायलेंस से, अहिंसा से हिंसा का प्रतिकार करना, ये आज हमारा फर्ज है। हम देखते हैं कि किस प्रकार से राजनीति इसके साथ जुड़ी है, वोट बैंक्स इसके साथ जुड़ी है, और नोट बैंक्स कैसी बनती है इलेक्ट्रल बॉन्ड से, वो तो कहने की जरूरत नहीं है। हमको सोशल, इकोनॉमिक, पॉलिटिकल सभी का अंदाजा लेना चाहिए, एनालिसिस करना चाहिए। यही गॉड्स एंड गॉडेसेस बनकर बैठे हैं उनके पद पर, हम लोग उनको गॉड्स एंड गॉडेसेस नहीं मानना चाहिए। हमारे आदिवासियों की देवदानी तो पहाड़ में है, पत्थर में है, वृक्ष में है, जिसका वर्णन एक न एक प्रकार से पूरी भाषा मुझे समझ नहीं रही थी, लेकिन यहाँ प्रस्तुत किया गया है। मुझे लगता है कि इसी दिशा में आज निश्चित हर प्रकार का ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, एजुकेशन इज फॉर इनकलकेशन ऑफ वैल्यूज, इम्बाइबिंग द एटीट्यूड, स्किल्स, बट ऑल्सो गिविंग अ विजन एंड अ मंजिल। यही शिक्षा का मतलब है अगर, तो वो शिक्षा धरातल से जुड़ी होकर हमारे कष्टकरियों से, जो चल रहे थे लॉकडाउन में 1700-2000 किलोमीटर हमको उपवास करना पड़ा, रोकना पड़ा महाराष्ट्र और मध्य प्रदेश की बॉर्डर पर, उनको बिठाया एक एक ट्रेन में और एसटी में बिठाकर वो फिर वापस आए हैं। ये जो बहुत ही अद्भुत स्थिति अर्थव्यवस्था की आई है, श्रीलंका तक आगे नहीं बढ़ी है, लेकिन G20 जब सेलिब्रेट हो रहा है तो कॉर्पोरेट पावर कितनी बढ़ने वाली है, और उसका इस्तेमाल हमारे रूलर्स कैसे करने वाले हैं, ये सोचना ही नहीं, ये सवाल खड़े करना। विद्या ज्योति में इतनी ताकत है, इतनी हिम्मत है, तो निश्चित हो जाएगा और उसी से कुछ बदलाव आएगा इस देश के अर्थव्यवस्था और राज व्यवस्था में, ये हमारा विश्वास है। आप राजनिवास मार्ग पर है, आपके पड़ोसी कौन है आपको पता नहीं है, जिन्होंने मुझ पर हमला किया था और जिनके खिलाफ आज भी क्रिमिनल केस पेंडिंग है, उसकी वीडियो है। आपके सेड्रिक प्रकाश जी, फादर प्रसाद चैको, सभी उसके विटनेसेस हैं, और उन्होंने कहा था कि ये फैटल अटैक था। 20 साल तक मेरी ही क्रॉस ली जा रही है, उससे भी डरती नहीं हूं, और डर नहीं पर निडरता से सवाल करती हूं कि यह है कौन जो ऐसे पदों पर बिठाए जाते हैं, जो कोर्ट में हार जाते हैं, हमारे ऊपर झूठे आरोप लगाते हैं, हमारी शाला चली नहीं 30 साल चलने के बावजूद। ये सब धर्म, जाति, पंथ, प्रांत और लिंग भेद के साथ इस देश को एकजुटता के साथ आगे नहीं बढ़ने की कोशिश करने वालों में से है, और उनका वही प्रॉफिटियरिंग का मामला इस अर्थव्यवस्था को बर्बाद करता है। जब हम सवाल खड़े करते हैं कि बड़े बांध अमेरिका ने 1000 तोड़ दिए, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज ने 4000 से ज्यादा तोड़ दिए, तो आज गंगा अशुद्ध, नर्मदा अशुद्ध, सब नदियां बर्बाद होती रही है, केवल यमुना नहीं। ये कैसे हम मंजूर करें? तो वो उनकी नींद उड़ जाती है। उनको एक एक विकास के प्रतीकों के रूप में जो खड़े करने होते हैं, जिसका लाभ भी नहीं मिलता है, जिसकी कॉस्ट हजारों करोड़ से बढ़ती है, 10 गुना या 20 गुना, लेकिन लाभ नहीं मिलता है। जैसे सरदार सरोवर का उदाहरण मैं आपको बताऊं तो आप चकित हो जाएंगे कि कच्छ के एक किसान को पानी नहीं मिला, और महाराष्ट्र और मध्य प्रदेश को बिजली केवल मिलने वाली थी, वो नहीं मिली, तो वो अभी पैसा मांग रहे हैं। तो ये पैसे की देन गेन, ये मनी और मार्केट का फुलना, ये बाजार का बढ़ना, ये हमारे जीवन की जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी है, जो आत्मरंग यहाँ प्रेजेंट किया गया, प्रस्तुत किया गया, उसी पर कहीं ना कहीं हमला कर रही है, न केवल हमारे शरीरों पर। आज बिल्किस बानो जो भुगत रही है, आज उसके बलात्कारियों को जो सम्मान हो रहा है, आज कहीं एक दलित बच्चे को राजस्थान में शिक्षक मास्टर के पॉट से पानी पिया इसलिए मारा जाता है, हम क्या चुप बैठ सकते हैं? लिंचिंग होता है, हम क्या चुप बैठ सकते हैं? हम नहीं बैठ सकते। इसलिए आखिरी में इन पूरे आर्टिस्ट ने जो सवाल हमारे सामने किया है, क्या आप हमारे साथ खड़े रहेंगे? हमने जोरदार जवाब देना चाहिए, हाँ हम लड़ेंगे आपके साथ अहिंसक पद्धति से और जीतेंगे भी। और ये जो धर्म के नाम पर ईश्वर अल्लाह की बात करती है, मैं बस 2 लाइन गीतों की सुनाकर आपकी रजा लेती हूँ, माफी मांगते हुए कि मैंने ज्यादा समय लिया है। पर जो मन भर के आज हमें विचार दिया गया और इतिहास हमारे सामने विद्या ज्योति का रखा गया, तो भविष्य का भी एक नजरिया आपके सामने रखने में मुझे थोड़ा ज्यादा समय लेना पड़ा। तो एक तो गीत है, ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे जहां में नफरत क्यों है, जंग है क्यों, तेरा दिल तो इतना बड़ा है, इंसान का दिल तंग है क्यों, कदम कदम पर सरहद क्यों है, सारी जमीन तो तेरी है, सूरज के फेरे करती है, फिर भी इतनी अंधेरी है, इस दुनिया के दामन पर इंसान के लहू का रंग है क्यों, ईश्वर अल्लाह। और जब हम लोग ये ऐलान दूसरों को और खुद को कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोगों को अपना कर्तव्य पार करना चाहिए, जो संविधानिक कर्तव्य है। हमको 2 दुनिया में से कौन सी दुनिया हमें मंजूर है, उसको चुनना चाहिए। तभी हम राजनीतिक, आर्थिक और सामाजिक बदलाव लाने के लिए हिम्मत से खड़े होंगे। हम न डरेंगे न डराएंगे, आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे। और इसलिए 2 लाइनें और, एक हमारी एक है उनकी, मुल्क में है आवाजें दो, एक हमारी एक है उनकी, मुल्क में है आवाजें दो, अब तुम पर है कौन सी तुम, आवाज सुनो तुम क्या मानो। यही हम जुग्गी वासियों को बताना है, हमारे कष्टकरियों को बताना है, जिनके खिलाफ कानून लाए जा रहे हैं। हम कहते हैं नफरत छोड़ो, इंसानों से प्यार करो, वो कहते हैं खून खराबा होता है तो होने दो, एक हमारी एक है उनकी, वो कहते हैं भूले बिसरे मंदिर मस्जिद याद करो, वो कहते हैं भूले बिसरे मंदिर मस्जिद याद करो। हम कहते हैं बेघर बेदर इंसान को आबाद करो, हम कहते हैं बेघर बेदर इंसान को आबाद करो। विद्या ज्योति विद्या के प्रकाश में यही विजन, यही मंजिल देखकर ये पूरी बड़ी परिवार के साथ आगे बढ़ेगी, इस पर विश्वास व्यक्त करते हुए मैं आपकी रजा लेती हूँ।
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Vidyajyoti, one of the 2 national theologates of the Jesuits of South Asia, has always been a cradle of interculturality. Jesuit scholastics from across the nation live and study here under one roof, transcending their linguistic and ethnic differences. What more can express the union of hearts and minds than music, which knows no boundaries? Please welcome Scholastic Jobin George and Company for a musical medley consisting of songs from different languages composed by our own brothers. Thank you, Jobin and team, for that wonderful rendition of the medley. Please give them a big hand. We have now come to the end of the concluding ceremony of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of Vidyajyoti. Indeed, a moment of pride and joy. This cultural evening would not have been possible without the helping hands of a number of people who extended their generous help in many ways. And now is the time to thank them all. The entire Vijay family is profoundly grateful to Almighty God for all His blessings on this temple of learning for the past 50 years, and especially today on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee celebration. This program is the brainchild of our principal, Father P.R. John S.J. Father P.R. has been working tirelessly for the past few months to make this event a reality and thus bring the Jubilee celebrations to a happy conclusion. Thank you, dear Father, for your guidance to the staff and students of Vijay family. Father Nirmal Raj S.J., our rector, has always been a pillar of support. His paternal guidance and timely interventions have always been helpful. Thank you, dear Father Nirmal Raj. We thank His Grace, Archbishop Anil J.T. Kuto, patron of Vidyajyoti. Thank you, dear Archbishop, for your constant support and especially for blessing us today with your gracious presence. We thank the presence of the guests of honor, rectors, principals, and other dignitaries. We are indeed grateful to Srimati Medha Padkar for her invaluable presence and more so for her inspiring words. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us on this joyous occasion. I would also like to place on record our profound gratitude to the St. Saviour's School community for generously letting us use this Millennium Hall for the concluding ceremony, and also for always lending us a helping hand as and when the need arises. We especially express our gratitude to Father Augustine Perumal S.J., the rector, Father T.J. Jose S.J., the principal, Brother John S.J., the administrator, and all other teaching and non-teaching staff members for their generous help. We also express our heartfelt gratitude to Father Dayal, Father Joseph Kurapati, and the Jesuits of St. Saviour's and Sahyog communities. It would be unfair if I leave out various committees headed by staff members, under the aegis of which the students of Vidyajyoti contributed their might to this cultural extravaganza. The staff and students put their heads together to meticulously organize several events during the Jubilee year. We thank them for their selfless and creative contribution. A big thanks to all the staff and students for their contributions to the concluding ceremony of the Golden Jubilee of Vidyajyoti Institute of Religious Studies. Thank you one and all once again. Let us now rise for the national anthem.
Before we sing national anthem, I request Bishop Deepak to say a prayer over the meals.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful and enlightening evening. You have blessed us, gifted this evening to us, so that we may understand your will for us and go back home with a very strong and powerful message. And as we prepare ourselves for a delicious meal, bless the meal, bless all those who have prepared it, and bless all the people who worked behind it. After having the meals, we may live and work for your greater glory. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Dear fathers, brothers and sisters, we have a delicious supper awaiting us. May I request you to proceed to the lawn in front of Navjivan Renewal Center. Our brothers will be there at your service.
प्रिय फादरगण, धर्म बंधुगण, धर्म बहने और सभी मेहमान साथियों, हमारे लिए एक स्वादिष्ट प्रीति भोज का इंतजाम किया गया है। मेरी आपसे गुजारिश है कि आप सभी नवजीवन रिन्यूअल सेंटर के सामने लॉन में जाने की कृपा करें। आपकी सेवा में विद्या ज्योति के ब्रदरगण हाजिर रहेंगे। धन्यवाद।